Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Farzana binti Arifi and my metric number is A201336. Data description is tabular, graphical, and numerical summary of data. The purpose of data description is to facilitate and present the presentation and interpretation of data. What is crime? Crime is deliberate act that causes physical and psychological harm, damage to or loss of property, and it's gain of the law. In our study, we are just using two types of crime, which is property and violence. The type of violence is homicide, aggravated, rape, and sexual and other. Example for property crime include burglary, larceny, motor vehicle thief, and such and others. The data that we are using is secondary data that we got from Department Statistics Malaysia. This is the table of crime index for 2017 and 2019, where the variable that we are using is date, years, and crime. In this table also using quantitative data that is numerical. Next is graphical representation. There are two types of distribution that we have separate, which is violent and property crime. In the both of table we are using class, interval, frequency, cumulative frequency, lower boundary and upper boundary, and midpoint. To get the class interval, we are using the formula of number of class, which is 2k more than n. After get the answer, then use the class width, which is the formula is maximum entry minus minimum entry divided by number of class. Property crime is the number of property crime is 1059 and violent crime is 3199. So from there we get the class interval. The first graph that we are using is histogram. For the axis of X, we are using the midpoint. But if you don't want to use the midpoint, you can use the upper boundary or lower boundary. For the axis of Y, we are using frequency, where we can see that the class interval for 121 until 1179 is more higher than other, which is the frequency is 33. Next, for crime is histogram, the higher class interval is 406 until 3604. The next graph we are using is algae. For the axis of X, we are using upper boundary. For the axis of Y, we are using cumulative frequency. For the property crime, we can see that the algae is increasing, while for the violent crime, the still increasing. According to the graph, we found out that between 2017 until 2019, Selangor get the higher case of violent and property, while the Perlis get the least number. This is maybe because the high living of cost that in the city area that keep pressure on living a lavish life, and maybe this could be a factor as well. Not just that, Selangor also have a job opportunity. So by this opportunity, it can increase the density of the population, and indirectly, this population density will lead to increase the number of crime. Throughout the year of 2017 to 2019, it was found that the percentage of violent crime and property was exceed the crime rate in the Perlis by 90% and above. Even the number is higher, but the number of cases for both crime Selangor had been decreased throughout the year, which is 11.68% for property crime and 20.13% is for violence. The reason why police had contributed less criminal activity is maybe because there is small area and low population density.
Hai, Assalamualaikum. I Izzat Nabila binti Muhammad Yunus, nomenclature 120B1376. So my part is numerical descriptive. So for violent crime, for me is firstly draw a table and column. First is column 1 is class, second column is frequency, third column midpoint, and fourth column is fx. Total answer in point get to a column class 1179 plus 1121 divide by 2 and get answer for midpoint. And for fx is frequency times by midpoint and get the answer. For formula in mid is summation fx divide by n and get total for mid is 1229.92. For median, can see formula in slide and answer I give step by step, and total answer in median is 794.34. Next is mode. You guys can see formula in slide and I give answer step by step, and total answer for mode is 666.5469. For quartile formula by step 1 is Q1 and divide by 4 and get answer, and Q3 formula is 3n divide by 4 and get answer. Step 2 is Q1 is answer Q1 is 457.1415 and Q3 answer is 1131.3636. So the last step is Q3 minus Q1 and answer is 1131.3636. Is the answer interquartile range. So in range formula is maximum data entry minus by minimum data entry and get answer range 6353. Next is variance and standard deviation SD. For formula you guys can see in slide and the answer I give step by step too. So total answer in variance is 1652263.239 and SD answer you guys can use formula square root and answer by variance. We can get total SD 1275.4039. Next is property crime table. For mean is firstly you can draw a table and column. First column is class, second column is frequency, third column is midpoint, and fourth column is fx. The total answer in midpoint you guys can get to a column first. 406 plus 3604 divide by 2 and get answer for midpoint. And for fx is frequency times by midpoint and get the answer for midpoint. For formula in mean is summation fx divided by n and get total for mean is 5204. For median, you guys can see formula in slide and answer I give step by step, and total answer in median is 4356.90. Next is mode. In slide I give a formula and answer I give step by step too. For mode, answer is 3412.56. For quartile formula in step 1 is Q1 is n divided by 4 and get answer, and Q3 formula is 3n divided by 4 and get answer to Q3. Step 2 is Q1 answer 2381.2024 and Q3 is 6503.5938. So the last step is Q3 minus Q1 and answer is 4122 and answer is integrated range. So in range formula is maximum data entry minus by minimum data entry and get answer 19193. Next is variance and standard deviation SD. For formula you guys can see in slide and the answer I give step by step too. So total answer in variant is 159,80791.32 and SD answer you guys can use formula, square root and answer by variant. You guys can get total SD.
Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Adila binti Muhammad Zulkifli. My metric number is A20B1232. And for this presentation, I would like to present about statistical analysis using software, which is SPSS. Okay, first of all, for numeric descriptive measure for violent crime, we can see from the sample, the number of sample is 42, and we can see the difference calculation, different amount from manual calculation and SPSS. Next, for numeric descriptive measures for property crime, there are also 42 sample, and also we can see from the calculation it is have the same and difference amount or total. I guess it is because the SPSS cannot read or analyze our group data accurately. Next, for the hypothesis testing, for t-test, the significance value of total crime index is 0.589, which is more than 0.544 for total crime index. So we fail to reject H0 and conclude that mean total crime index is more than 6,000. For the hypothesis testing for ANOVA, the p-value from the ANOVA table is less than 0.005, which is 95% of confidence interval, which means that at least one of the two variables, year and populations, can be used to model total crime index. For correlation analysis from the scatter plot matrix, in the scatter plot matrix, graph 1 plots total crime index against population. It is seen that the higher number of population, the higher total number of crime index. There is a relationship between population and total crime index. Next, graph 2 plots crime index against year. There is no relationship between total crime index and year. Same goes to graph 3 plots population against year, and also there is no relationship between year and population. Next, the R values between year and total crime index is negative 0.085, population and total crime index is 0.849. Thus, total crime index is associated with only population because it is more than 0.3. There is strong positive correlation between population and total crime index, while between year and total crime index there is strong negative correlation. The R value between year and population is 0.1, which is less than 0.85, which is the benchmark of the multicollinearity. Perhaps there is no problem of multicollinearity. And the last one is for confidence interval. The 95% of confidence interval for year is between negative 1,731.339 and 500.89809, where the value of it does not fall within the interval. Again, indicating age is a significant predictor, whereas the 95% confidence interval for population is between 0.002 and 0.004, where the value of 0 falls within the interval, again indicating population is not a significant predictor. That's all from me. Thank you.
My name is Ahmad Sakibuddin bin Anas and my metric number is A19A0018. I will present about model summary, test of normality and coefficient. First is model summary. The Asper value is 0.729, which means 72.9% of the variation in total can be explained by year and population. Next is test of normality. The Shapiro weight test of normality on the residual gives a p-value of 0.00, which is less than 0.05. Thus, the assumption of normality of the residual term is not met. Next is coefficient. The equation for total is 1,241,078.398 plus 0.003 for population minus 615.265 per year. For every increase in population, total will drop by 0.003, provided the year remain unchanged. For every unit increase in year, total will drop by negative 615.265, provided the population remain unchanged. As the conclusion, from this project or group assignment, we can learn and applying on what we have learned before in business statistics, such as how to make a group data from raw data to represent it into graphical data, use numerical descriptive measure, and also we learn how to use SPSS. From this, we can know how our understanding about the subject and know how to improve it. From this assignment, we can identify about the number of crime index in Malaysia by state and also the relationship between the total number of crime index and population and year. There is strong relationship between population and total crime index. The highest one is from Selangor and the lowest is Perlis. The highest crime in Selangor is because of the population of Selangor was the highest, which is 6,380,700 for 2017, 6,475,000 for 2018, and 6,506,100 for 2019. Meanwhile, for the lowest state of crime index, Perlis is only 252,000 for 2017, 253,500 for 2018, and 254,000 for 2019. The difference of this population is very large, and this gives impact to the total crime index.